Hey guys, JWF1 here. Sorry about my voice. I've got a bit of a sore throat and I've kind of got a croaky voice, so I do apologise. I'm going to push on. Today here is my F1 2016 drive predictions video. Now before the video starts, I just want to make two disclaimers. All right, one, okay. The drivers may not be correct. All right, they may not be correct. So if, like, say, for example, a driver gets signed up to a different team that I've got in the predictions, don't have a go at me in the comments, because this video is made before that announcement was made, if you get what I mean. The second disclaimer is, these are my opinions, alright? I'd like to hear your opinions as well, but if I see any comments on there having a go at me because I've got an opinion that's different to theirs, I'll just remove your comment. And because it's not really appropriate. Alright? So, yeah. Enjoy the video, which is in the same style as Sky Sports F1. Until then, I've been JWF1, and enjoy the video. Hey there guys, JWF1 here, and welcome to my F1 2016 drive predictions. Now, sorry about my voice. You may hear me doing this all the time, this sound. I've got a bit of a croaky voice and a sore throat, so I do apologise for that, but I'm going to push on. So we're going to be here for our F1 2016 drive predictions on who I believe will be on the grid next year with our team. Now, there is a 12th team on here, guys. Reason for this is because you would have heard rumours that they are looking for a 12th team, and also that it may look like to be ART. So ART are on this predictor thing. Now, the reason for this is because it's just in case they do end up on the grid. If not, doesn't matter, but if they do, luckily I've done a prediction for them. So, anyway, so how this is going to work is simple. It's going to work the same way as Sky F1 does their predictions. You know how they have the Sky, Martin Brundle and Anthony Davidson do the thing on the Sky Pad, where they've got a team and they've got a list of drivers down the sides, and they pick two drivers out who they believe will be at that team, and they lock them in. Well, that's how we're going to do it. Except we don't have drivers on the side because they're all on my documents. All the pictures and documents. For some reason, Hamilton's like that. There we go. So, without further ado, let's get on with our F1 2016 driving predictions. Starting off with Mercedes. Now, no need to talk about them. It's already been settled. Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Lewis Hamilton recently signed a new 3-year extension with the Silver Arrow to be with the team until 2018, and Nico Rosberg, of course, has one more year left at Mercedes. Of course, there was rumours about Fernando Alonso possibly being at the team if Lewis didn't stay at the team, but those rumours have now gone, and Hamilton has ended up signing a new 3-year deal with the team. And so it looks like Mercedes are going to be sticking with Hamilton and Rosberg for a 4th year running. So look forward to the rivalry again, lads, if that's the case. So yeah, let's lock in Mercedes. So next up is Ferrari. Now, this one's quite an interesting one, of course. Obviously, as that's the wrong folder again. Here we are. Now, obviously, we can easily say that this guy's still going to be at the team. Sebastian Vettel. Easy, really. He'll stay for another year as he's got 2 more years left on his contract. But the big question is, who will be Sebastian's teammate next year? Well, we all know it would have been Jules Bianchi, but unfortunately, he has passed away. So, unfortunately, that will never happen, which is a shame, really, because I wanted to see Bianchi in a Ferrari. But, so that means Ferrari have got to look for a driver who's at similar place as Jules Bianchi. Now, there are 3 names that come into this. One of them is obviously Kimi Räikkönen, another one is Nico Hülkenberg, and the other one is Valtteri Bottas. Now, Hülkenberg, I don't see happening, to be honest with you. I honestly do not think Ferrari are after him, which is a shame. Maybe this guy. Could Kimi stay at the team? This guy? Could it be the same partnership as it was this year? I'm going to be honest with you. As much as I like Kimi, I don't see it happening, unfortunately. I do believe, though, that he has passed, he's sadly passed his use-by date, and I think he probably wants to be more of a family man than a Formula 1 driver. So that just leaves one person, and I honestly do believe that that is the guy who's going to be at Ferrari, and it is this guy, Valtteri Bottas. Bottas has done an amazing. I honestly believe he's on equal pace as Bianchi. He'll obviously know that it would have been Bianchi's seat, but Bottas has done an incredible job with Williams, and he honestly deserves to be at a team like Ferrari. And he's not that far away from a first win, so maybe he could get it with Ferrari if he doesn't get it in the last 9 races of the championship this year. So there is Ferrari, Vettel and Bottas, so let's lock those in. So next up is Williams. Now, this team is also interesting. I can definitely see, as I'm on the wrong folder again, here we are. Now, one thing's for certain, I can definitely see this guy staying at Williams for another year, which is this guy, Felipe Massa. He's done another incredible job with the team, and to be honest with you, I don't see him moving anytime soon or retiring anytime soon. I think the team like him, and I honestly think that Massa deserves another year at Williams, because he has done an incredible job, better than Ferrari for that matter. But with Bottas, who I believe is going to go to Ferrari, who will be his teammate? Well, there are a couple of names that float around, 3 in fact. One of them is Jenson Button, another one is Nico Hulkenberg, and another one is Alex Lynn. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't think it'll be Alex Lynn, because I'm going to be honest with you, in fact there's 34 in the driver market. In fact, Alex Lynn, I've actually forgot his photo, but it doesn't matter anyway. I don't see him being in Formula 1 next year. I think he's a bit too young to be at Williams, and I honestly think he needs a few more practice sessions before he may have a chance to tame the Williams. So, that leaves 2 drivers left at Williams. A lot of people have been, where is he? Here he is. A lot of people have been heavily suggesting it's probably going to be this guy, Nico Hulkenberg. He's got a chance, I've got to admit, and I wouldn't mind him being, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind him at Williams, but to be honest with you, I think, I don't think he'll be at Williams, to be honest with you. So, as much as I don't mind him to be at Williams, I don't think that's who Williams are after. So, this leaves one more driver then, really. Now, if you keep listening to the rumours that Williams have said, well, the news they said, you would have known that they said that if Bottas leaves, their first choice that they would go for is Jenson Button. Now, and if you believe me like I do, then you've probably got to believe them. So, I think that's how it's going to be, to be honest. I mean, I know McLaren have the option of keeping him on for an extra year, but I don't see them signing him again, to be honest. I think Button deserves to be at a top team again, and because I think he needs to prove still that he still has what it takes to be in Formula 1. Plus, it will give us another year with him, which is cool. But I think he's probably got a couple of years left in Formula 1. And I think the last 2 years should be at Williams, in my opinion. So that's how I see Williams standing. I think it will be Massa and Button next year. Button being rumored for Williams for the umpteenth time. So, and I honestly believe that Williams is the team he's going to go to next year. The team that he made his debut with in 2000. So that's how I see it. Massa and Button at Williams next year. So let's lock those in. So the next team is Infinity Red Bull Racing. They have recently confirmed that they will be having Infinity after all as their sponsor once again. Now, who do I believe will be at Red Bull next year? I mean, strangely, rumours have been floating about this guy being at the team, but yeah, right. He's too young to be at the team yet, and he's got more to prove and a lot more to learn before he can move up to the top to the Red Bull team, move up to Red Bull, I should say. Struggling with my words there. So sorry for Verstappen, you've still got more to prove before you get to a team like that. As well as Ferrari, he's also been rumoured to, but again, too young. So to be honest with you, like a lot of people have suggested, I think it's going to be the same as last year, which is, if I can find them, of course. Where are they? Well, I found one, but where's the other one? I'm looking for him somewhere. Oh, here he is. Daniel Ricciardo and Daniel Kvyat. They will be at the team for another season. Although Ricciardo was also rumoured to go to Ferrari, and I know that he has said that Ferrari is a team that he would like to go to. I honestly feel that he wants to be at Red Bull for another year. Plus, he also does have a one more year on his contract with the team as well, because I think he is also quite loyal to the team, as is Kvyat as well. Kvyat deserves another year as well. I mean, Ricciardo's done a good job this year, despite the car not being brilliant, but Kvyat as well. Although he had a shaky start to the season, Kvyat has definitely improved, and especially in Hungary when he got his first podium, which gives an indication that Red Bull clearly want to keep hold of him. So, Ricciardo and Kvyat for another year at Red Bull. So, let's lock those two drivers in. So, next up is Force India. Now, a lot of rumours floating about this team as well. So, who will be driving for this team? Well, we can already establish that, where is he? Here he is. This guy is definitely going to be staying at the team, Sergio Perez. Although we probably would like him to be higher up in the field, I can honestly see Perez staying at Force India for another year. Maybe in the future he'll probably get a top team, but for right now, I think he's very comfortable at Force India at the moment. So, with that, do we believe that, because I don't believe Hulkenberg will go to either Ferrari or Williams, do I believe, where is he? Oh, by the way, there's actually 35 people in the market, by the way. Just added 2 more that were in the market that I forgot, Alex Ling and Susie Wolf. Where is Hulkenberg? I've lost him. I've lost Hulkenberg. Sorry about this. Here he is. Do we believe that, do we believe Hulkenberg will stay at the team for another year? It would probably be disappointing for him, but I honestly, to be honest with you, I don't see him staying at the team, to be honest. I mean, initially I thought he was, but now I don't, to be honest. I honestly think he wants to be looking at a team that he definitely thinks will get him a top seat in the future, because he's clearly not getting it with Force India. So I don't see Hulkenberg at the team. So that leaves a new driver at Force India. Now I think there's 4 names floating about for this team. There is Esteban Ocon, Pascal Wehrlein, Daniel Juncadella, and Nick Yalloy. Or Yellowly, that's it. Sorry, Nick Yellowly. I don't think it'll be Nick Yellowly, because I think he needs a bit more time before going into Formula 1. Daniel Juncadella, I think he's more settled at DTM at the moment, so I don't think it'll be Daniel Juncadella. Esteban Ocon has a chance and at the team, but I honestly think he needs a few more practice sessions before making the jump full-time to a Formula 1 team. So I don't think it'll be Esteban Ocon. So that leaves one more driver, and I believe it will be him, in fact, and it is this guy, Pascal Wehrlein, who did some testing with Force India in Barcelona winter testing. He's also the Mercedes test driver as well, currently racing in DTM, and he's a very quick driver. So if I were VJ Mellor, I think that's the team I would go for. So, and honestly, I think that will be the team next year. Sergio Perez and Pascal Wehrlein at Force India. So let's lock those in. So next up is Lotus. A lot of rumours are floating about this team that they may be taken over by Renault. But, well, whatever the team will be next year, Lotus or Renault, I honestly think it will be the the same drivers that I predict, whether it's Renault or Lotus, that will be at the team. So I can safely say, where is he? Here he is. That Romain Grosjean is definitely staying. I can honestly see him being at Lotus. Obviously, he'll maybe be a bit disappointed, but he is loyal to the team at the end of the day. And I honestly see Grosjean still staying at the team. Now, who will be his teammate? Well, a lot of people have been suggesting it will be... Where is he? Here he is. This guy. Jolyon Palmer. the 2014 GP2 champion and current Lotus third driver as well for the team. But to be honest with you, I think he's still got a few practice sessions to go before he ends up in the Formula 1 seat. Plus, Lotus have said that they've apparently kept hold of both of their drivers. So, if you believe Lotus like I do, then unfortunately some of you may be a little bit disappointed about this, because probably a lot of you don't want him in Formula 1. But to be honest with you, I think it's going to be Pastor Maldonado again. I know a lot of people don't like him because of the fact he keeps crashing, but on his good days, he is getting the points in for Lotus. I would like to see him improve his driving style, but I do honestly think, though, that next year is his make or break season with Lotus, because if he doesn't start improving, then maybe he should let Jolyon Palmer take the seat. But right now, I think that's going to be Lotus for next year, Grosjean and Maldonado. So let's lock those two in. Next up is Red Bull's junior team, Toro Rosso. They've also been heavily rumoured about Renault taking them over, but I don't see it happening. The only way I believe they'll ever get taken over is if Red Bull pull out, to be honest with you. But anyway, let's get on with it. Now, a lot of people, a lot of rumours have been spreading out that maybe this guy, maybe at Toro Rosso, Pierre Gasly, maybe at Toro Rosso next year, but I honestly think he's a bit low down in Red Bull's junior junior program at the moment. So, unfortunately, Pierre maybe have to wait a few more years before getting into Formula 1. Maybe a couple, we'll see. So, to be honest with you, I honestly think, just like a few of the teams this year, it's going to be the same lineup as this year, which is Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz Jr. These two have done a fantastic job with the team. Probably Max Verstappen being the more surprising package out of the two of them. Even though a lot of people have been saying that Sky F1's making him like God, or Jesus, to be honest. A lot of rumours have been spreading around about Max Verstappen being at either Red Bull and Ferrari. Like I said, he's too young to be at those teams yet. He's still got a lot more to prove before he can get in a team like Red Bull or Ferrari. So, yeah, Max Verstappen will stay at the team. And Carlos Sainz Jr. as well, also doing a good job. They should be staying at Toro Rosso for another year. So let's lock those two in. So next up is Sauber. And, well, it's already confirmed, really. We don't need to discuss anything about them. They confirmed, I think it was last week, their drivers, which are going to be the same, Marcus Ericsson and Felipe Nasr. Felipe Nasr does, and it's called him Massa there. Felipe Nasr does deserve another year in Formula 1. He's done a fantastic job. I'm a little bit disappointed because I honestly thought he would have gone to Williams next year. But at the same time, I'm still happy that Sauber have kept him on because he does deserve the seat anyway. However, Marcus Ericsson, in my opinion, I think he's lucky to be there. Because I only think he's only there for the money that he gives to them. Because it's apparently worth more than what Nasr's sponsors are. So to be honest, I think Ericsson is just there because he's a pay driver. Because to be honest with you, if it wasn't with the money, I would safely say that Ericsson wouldn't have been in the team, and they would have replaced him with someone else, like, I don't know, either Rafael Marciello or Guido van der Garde. But that's Sauber's call, so it's stuck like that, unfortunately. So Marcus Ericsson and Felipe Nasr, Marcus Ericsson and Felipe Nasr at Sauber for another year. So let's lock those in. So next up is McLaren Honda. Now they've had a dreadful year this season, and they will want to put the past behind them. And hopefully next year, apparently, even though they've got a contract with them, apparently McLaren haven't confirmed their engine next year, but it's probably more likely going to be Honda, isn't it? So for starters, I can definitely see this guy still being at the team, Fernando Alonso, even though he is a little bit miserable with the team at the moment because of their performance. He has recently said, though, that if the team is still fighting for around P16 next year, then he may consider either moving teams or moving categories next year. So that gives an indication that he will still be at McLaren next year. I mean, sadly, the rumours of him being at Mercedes are no more, so Alonso will have to stay put at McLaren for next year, which he understands. He knew what he was signing up for anyway, because he knew it was going to be a challenge. This year was probably a development year for Honda, and I really hope that the team do improve next year, because they need it. So, his teammate. Well, I already said that Jensen is probably going to go to Williams next year. So, that will leave a new teammate for Fernando. So, who would that be? Well, there's two names. They are Kevin Magnussen and Stoffel van Dorn. Now, it would be nice if this guy is actually back in F1. Kevin Magnussen. I wouldn't mind it, of course. It'd be nice to see him back in F1, because a lot of people have been saying that this should have been the partnership this year, but they instead chose Button instead of Magnussen, which left Magnussen as a reserve driver. But so it would be nice to see Alonso and Magnussen at McLaren, but to be honest with you, I think it's actually going to be where is he? Where is he? Somewhere near the... Here he is. I think he's going to be this guy, Stoffel van Dorn, who is currently leading the GP2 Championship, and well, he is a former sim racer in Formula Sim Racing, for goodness sake, and it makes sense, because well, he's doing a fantastic job in GP2, obviously leading the GP2 Championship. And to be honest with you, if Button's going to go to Williams, that's the partnership I would probably see. So I think that's what it's going to be like at McLaren Honda. Fernando Alonso and Stoffel van Dorn. So, yeah, that's how it stands, Alonso and van Dorn. So let's lock those two in. So next up is the Survivor team, Manor Marussia. Now, I've added two more drivers into the market, as I forgot to add these two in. So I do apologise. So there's now 38. So, the Survivor team, Manor Marussia. Now, this one's quite a tricky one, because they are a small team, and it's always hard to predict who will be at that team. So, so I can definitely say that this guy will still be at the team, Will Stevens. Will's done a fantastic job, despite the car that he's in, but he seems to be enjoying himself at Manor Marussia, and I think he definitely wants to be along with the ride to help the team out and get them out of the trouble. I mean, I think they are on their way to getting out of the trouble because of their new sponsor, Flexbox. So that's a good sign for them. So I think Stevens will stay. He's done a good job. But do I believe that Roberto Merri will stay? Do I believe Roberto will stay for another year at Manor? To be honest with you, no. I think he'll probably want I think he'll need to I think he wants to reroute his routes from Formula Renault 3.5. I think it was probably too early of him to go into Formula 1, to be honest. I mean, he was called late at the end of the day, as was Steven, but Stevens was already ready because he already had a drive with Caterham last year. But Roberto, I think, was not ready. I honestly think, though, that that he needs a bit more time. So I think he needs to go back to Renault 3.5 and try again, to be honest, before maybe making a return to Formula 1. So, sorry, Roberto. So that leaves an opening at Manor. So, there's two names that come into this. One of them is Jordan King. He's got a chance, I believe. He does have a chance. I wouldn't mind him at the team, to be honest. But I honestly think he has one more year in GP2 before moving on to the team that is now owned by his father, Justin King, who was the former co-owner or owner of Sainsbury's. So I think Jordan's got one more year in GP2 before making the jump to Formula 1 with this team. So, yeah, make us proud, Jordan. So that leaves just one more driver, and I believe it will be this driver, and I think it will be this guy, Fabio Lima. Fabio, you may have seen in Formula E, and he also did the Friday practice run in Hungary, I believe, with this team as well. There's also rumours of him towards the end of the season taking Roberto Merri's seat, as Roberto is on a part-time contract with Manor. If that is the case, then definitely Lima will be there for next year. But But even if he doesn't, then I can still see Lima being the driver at Manor next year. So that's how I see it. Stevens at and Lima at Manor next year. So let's lock those two in. So next up is Haas F1, the brand new team that's coming in next year, and possibly the last team if the 12th team doesn't come in, which will be more likely ART. But I'm still going to include ART in. So the second to last team on this list is Haas F1. Now, again, like Manor, it's very hard to predict who who will be at Haas next year. Now there's been heavy, strong rumours that these will be the two drivers in the team. Alexander Rossi and where's the other one? This one, Danica Patrick, will be at the team next year. It'd be great for Danica because she'll be the first woman to go into Formula One, to race in Formula One. But she recently declined an offer from Haas to go to the team, so it looks like she'll be staying at NASCAR next year. I mean, also the fact that she hasn't been in an open wheel car for 4 years, and that was in IndyCar. Formula One is a different sport. I mean, I know she has tested a Formula One car before, but these are different cars to what she drove, which was a V8 and different aerodynamics. These are different. So she declined the offer, and also the fact that Haas also mentioned that they were not looking for an American driver. So unfortunately, as much as I want Alexander Rossi in the team, unfortunately he's out the question. So in my honest opinion, I think Haas will want to look at because I honestly think there'll be a Ferrari junior team because they're heavily partnered by Ferrari. I think they want to look at experience and youth. 3 drivers coming to the experience here. One of them is this guy, Jean-Eric Verne. He has a chance, but to be honest with you, I honestly see him just as a Ferrari test driver for now, and I honestly see him still in Formula E because he has got a good partnership with Andretti. So I think he'll be in Formula E for the time being. So I don't think it'll be him. Esteban Gutierrez is also another chance, another prospect, but I initially went for him, but I don't think it'll be him now because of a new guy that's come up into the rumours, which I do believe it will be him. In fact, that person I believe will be the experience for Haas is this guy, Nico Hulkenberg. Now, I honestly don't believe he'll be staying at Force India. And I honestly believe that if he wants to go to a top team in the future, Haas is the team to do it because he's clearly not getting it with Force India. So I honestly think Hulkenberg will go to Haas. Who will be his teammate there? That's got to be the youth bit. And I honestly think it's going to be this guy. I honestly think it'll be someone from the Ferrari Young Driver program, by the way. And I think it'll be this guy, Rafael Marciello, who is in the Ferrari Young Driver program and is the current Sauber test driver. He's had a few practice runs as well. So I honestly see that being the lineup that Haas will look for. I honestly think it'll be Hulkenberg and Marciello next year. So let's lock those two in. And finally, the team who could be on the grid next year, I'm not saying that they will be, that probably could be on the grid next year as the 12th team, ART Grand Prix. Now, in my honest opinion, I think they'll probably act like a McLaren Junior team, in my opinion. So, if that's the case, because they are a previous GP2 team and it's where Lewis Hamilton came from, well, I think they still are in GP2, aren't they? I believe so. If that's the case, then it's pretty much easy what they're going to go for. They're going to go for experience and youth, but experience and youth that are in the McLaren driver program. So, if that's the case, I can definitely see this guy being it. Again, hard to predict what ART are going to go for, but I believe that it will be Magnussen. And the other guy that I believe will be the his teammate, if ART come in, that is where is he? Because if Stoffel Van Dorn goes to McLaren, who will be the youth? Answer, pretty easy. It's going to be this guy, Oliver Turvey. You would have seen him in Formula E as well. He's also the McLaren test driver as well, and also in the McLaren Young Driver program. So it would, if that's going to be the case, if ART come in and they're going to act like a McLaren Junior team, and if Button ends up going to Williams and Van Dorn ends up going to McLaren, a lot of lists I know, then the only person I could see that would team up with Magnussen is Turvey. So that's how I see ART if they come in, Magnussen and Oliver Turvey. So let's lock those two in. So if we look at that grid here, in my honest opinion, to me, that looks like a very good combination of experience and youth right there. A good combination. So, if you've forgotten, here is a recap on who I believe will be at next year. Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Ferrari, Sebastian Vettel and Valtteri Bottas. Williams, Felipe Massa and Jenson Button. Red Bull, Daniel Ricciardo and Daniel Kvyat. Force India, Sergio Perez and Pascal Wehrlein. Lotus, Romain Grosjean and Pastor Maldonado. Toro Rosso, Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz Jr. Sauber, Marcus Ericsson and Felipe Nasr. McLaren, Fernando Alonso and Stoffel Van Dorn. Manor, Will Stevens and Fabio Lima. Haas, Nico Hulkenberg and Rafael Marciello. And if they join, Art Grand Prix, Kevin Magnussen and Oliver Turvey. So, they are my F1 2016 driver predictions. But what are yours, guys? Like I said, leave your opinions down below. But like I said, if I see any comments having a go at me because I've got an opinion different to theirs, then I'll just delete your comment. So, yeah. So, until then, guys, thank you very much for watching. I've been JWF1, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.